paralysis, functional seizures, worsening pain, uncontrollable tic attacks, out of school, left everything she loved. That was Jayme's life before her family decided to do something different. What you're about to hear is what happened next, in their own words. This is a real family who has been doing the hard work together as a team and getting their life back. Now, during the interview with Jayme and her parents, you will see some episodes Jayme experienced. And I want you to pay close attention to exactly what she did to come out of those episodes. Because in my program, Teen FND Academy, we don't chase symptoms. Instead, we teach teens and parents the skills and strategies to build resilience and get their lives back. And as they master those skills and strategies, FND symptoms naturally fade away. And that's exactly what you are going to see here. So without further ado, let's dive in. Thank you so much again for joining me into this call. And Jayme, Amy, James, I want to ask you, not necessarily in that order, very first journey in your experience before joining the program, like what kind of symptoms you had and how those things were impacting your day-to-day life and all of that stuff before you joined the program. Who wants to start?
I was having seizures. When it first started, I was having seizures every 2 to 5 minutes. And then it progressed into seizures and fainting. And then it was seizures, fainting, and tics. And then I started experiencing paralysis. And I couldn't do basic tasks like go to the bathroom or shower by myself. And I couldn't walk for a long time. And without the program, it was hard to kind of function as a normal human being. And then there was just a lot that I was missing out on because of my FND and how bad my symptoms were.
So can I add to that, Jayme?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So her symptoms started in September of 2024 and started with a seizure at school. So she was sent by ambulance to the local hospital. That doctor immediately said, these are non-epileptic seizures. She was awake, she was conscious, but she had zero control of her body. So that was scary for us. And then they continued after that. She was seizing every 2 to 5 minutes for a good 24 hours. So we took her to another hospital. They said the same thing. And they said, ignore what you can. And we thought, how do we ignore this? How do we keep her safe, but also not feed into these symptoms? Because those were the words they kept saying, right, James?
Yeah.
Don't feed into the symptoms. And they would say those words, but not tell us how to do that. So it was very difficult for us to try to parent our way through that, what they meant by how to ignore the symptoms and how to do it safely. So when we brought her home from that, that's when she was still seizing frequently, but that's when the seizing started to slow down and then other symptoms started to show up. So she mentioned she had tics, fainting, paralysis. I know I'm missing some. And
my chronic pain started to worsen.
Yep.
I've always dealt with it, but that's when I started realizing, I'm actually in a lot more pain than I should be.
Yeah. And then she was missing school. She had zero social life. We're very fortunate in that the school she goes to is extremely accommodating. So she was able to finish her semesters, but she wasn't going to school full time. So she was going 3 days a week. She was home. She was at work with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she was going to school Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We did that for that full first semester starting in September. And then when she finally got back to school, I guess late October, and then until the end of that semester in January. So from there, she went to school second semester. School was wonderful. She has a full-time EA, which we did not have to fight for. And we are learning that a lot of people have to fight for those
accommodations.
Thank you. Those accommodations. We live in Canada and to see a specialist, you have to have a referral from your primary physician. And it is long waits for all of those specialists. So James and I were keeping a lot of notes and trying to be the people in charge of her care, but we couldn't find someone to do that for us. So we were seeing our primary physician, we were seeing a psychiatrist, we were seeing a neurological chiropractor, we were seeing a physiotherapist, and I'm definitely missing one because there were 5 of them at one point. And we had called a lot of different places asking for help. The answer was either we don't specialize in FND or no, we can't help you. We waited a very long time, almost a full year actually, from when her symptoms started to see a neurologist. And when we finally saw the pediatric neurologist, it was, I would say, maybe a 12-minute appointment. She confirmed that yes, it is functional neurological disorder, but didn't have a lot of extra to give us. It was a counselor. That was the other fifth thing, cognitive behavioral therapy. So she said, essentially, keep doing what you're doing, but with no guidance as to, is there an end game? Will this last forever? Is there hope? Will she drive? We still had a lot of unanswered questions. And then in talking to friends and discussing what we were going through, they said that there were other kids, local children, with very similar symptoms. So we got in touch with one of those families, and they actually said, you should check out Dr. Lee's YouTube channel. So we did that, and we listened to a lot of your videos on YouTube. And I did one of your coffee talks where I think you chatted for about 15 or 20 minutes and then just opened it up to questions. And I think I called James immediately after that and said, we have to book a meeting because this program sounds too good to be true. And there's got to be something going on here because it's all very positive. And then, we had our meeting with you. So
that's right.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to say I've come a long way since FND Academy, since starting it.
And I really appreciate the whole history of really unfortunate events that nobody asked for. Starting with having symptoms, we know you're not making things up. We know you're not doing this for attention. And then to have so many appointments and not having much of the direction, maybe like what to do, but not so much of how to do, and nuanced thing. What about this case? What about that case? And there's, again, walking in with so many questions and then walking out with a lot more confusion and more questions. And that's very unfortunately common, right? And nobody should experience that. And I still remember the day that we met for the call. And I remember, Amy, you have been watching my videos for quite some time.
Yes.
And I wanted to hear from you, Jayme, as a teen, what was your kind of sentiment or take on it before you joined the program? How you were thinking about it?
I was anxious, mainly just because it was a new thing. You had seemed very nice, so I was excited to get to know you. But I was more worried, what if other kids, judge me for it? And then it quickly occurred to me that no, these kids are going through the exact same thing I am. And there is not an ounce of judgment in this program. But I was also just very excited because I had a lot of hope. And you spoke very highly of the kids in your program, and there was really good reviews. I just thought, it seems worth it. Maybe a little bit of it's too good to be true, because it did seem like that, but it's not too good to be true. It's really working for us.
And every time I meet with you guys, I really try not to cry and then get emotional. Because I am so proud of you, how much you have come. So James, what was your feeling about it too? Amy talks to you as a parent. I know you care about your daughter, and I can also imagine that a lot of families have gone through so many things right before they find my program, and this could be one more thing, right? So I was kind of curious about how you were feeling about joining the program.
So when we started, it was quite tough on everyone. Amy and I, especially, it was starting to get hard on our relationship because we weren't on the same page at all. We didn't really know how to deal with it. One minute we were, flip-flopping on how we were supposed to deal with it. We were trying to ignore symptoms, and then, we would go back and forth. But, do we do tough love or do we, coddle? When we started, it did seem to be, we almost, we were wondering if it was too good to be true. And then we started working on it. And as we took our coaching calls and started to learn and work through the modules, it really started to click, and Amy and I got on the same page. So it's been really, really quite helpful for us and keeps us regulated, and hopefully just working on setting a good example for our daughter.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's hard to do what you're supposed to be doing when there's no guidance. It's easy for other people to say, just ignore, right? Or just go back to school and use the coping skills. Okay, who, how, where, how much? There's so many questions. And that's also, again, what is lacking without having FND specialists right next to you. And for you, right? And Jayme, what was your experience? What did you find it helpful so far in the program?
Yeah, I've found it helpful because we're learning so much self-regulation. So that's helpful not only in FND. I use that in my day-to-day as a teenager with my parents and getting annoyed with my sister. But I also find it does help a lot with symptoms. I'm able to recognize when a symptom is coming sometimes, and I'm able to get to a safe space, or I'm able to kind of avoid an episode completely. Sometimes I just push it back until I can get to a safe space, but some days I'm able to work through them and not have one. So it's been super helpful considering where I started versus where I am now. I still have a long ways to go, but with this program, I'm finding there is a lot more improvement than there would have been had I not have done it.
I want to come back to you. Amy, what's your experience been?
So far with the program, it's great. We, aside from, personally, James and I getting on the same page and having someone actually say, do A, B, C, and D next time this happens. That's done wonders for our relationship. We communicate much better with each other. We communicate better with Jayme. We communicate better with Ella. The support of the community, the online community in your program it's awesome. I don't know how else to describe it. We get to know the parents and get to recognize the kids' names. We don't know all of the kids because we don't take part in those meetings, but every meeting, when you type in that W for a win, I think James and I just smile ear to ear every time someone new starts talking, because it's just so nice to focus on all of the positives. And then all those tiny little wins add up to something big over time. And it's really, just being part of that community is making a huge difference for us. Just feeling validated. And we don't feel like it's just James and I against FND. It's very powerful.
And the access that you provide to yourself and your knowledge is quite helpful. If you're having a bad day, and I can, someone can message you and you get back to them quite quickly, usually within, I think the longest I've ever waited is about a half hour. So that's a calming presence.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up the win, sharing the wins. And a lot of people think, and probably you guys too, before you came to the program, the progress usually means, did I have a symptom or not, right? If you don't have a symptom, that's a good sign, obviously. And if you have a symptom, that's automatic failure, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever is what we're doing is not working. And the recovery from FND is not quite that simple. Right. And so this is, I wanted to brag about you, Jayme, that you invented quite a bit of terminologies in our program. Other teens have been so influenced by you in a positive way. For example, I don't know if you remember, but one of the wins that was so profound for you and other teens was that you had an episode, and that wasn't the win, but the win was in that process, you have now had 3 warning signs that you became aware of that you were not. So next time this happens, you know exactly what to do. Now, that's a huge win. So we're not just focusing on the outcome, but what you have control over in increasing self-awareness. And since then, a lot of teens modeled you and started sharing their own journey of increasing the self-awareness. And that's exactly how this program is designed. And I know it sounds too good to be true, but this is for real. Would you agree?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And we all have bad days, right? We all have tough day, week, rough time. And you basically, change the term to a learning day. And that was also monumental transformation, I might add. Immediately other teens said, oh, we like that. Can I use that? Can I use that? And so since then, it's been like few months, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that everybody's saying a learning day. And guess what? Parents started saying a learning day too.
I'm blushing.
But this is the kind of thing that is possible when you work on yourself, not because you're being told what to do, but you feel like you're in control. And the mindset shift isn't the reason why you're having FND. And at the same time, it has pretty big role in how you can, right, be in charge of your brain and body. So I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so proud of you. Yes. Okay, so you have gotten so much better in so many different ways. Tell us a little bit of now, I guess, where you are now, things you can do now you couldn't do before.
Well, for starters, I can go out with my friends, which is probably the biggest thing. I can go to school full time with the help of an EA and the school being accommodating. But I can go to places without an adult. Like if I say, hey mom, can I go to the mall? It's sure, let's have maybe your sister there to call us. But I don't have to go with my parents, and we don't have to wheelchair me everywhere and things like that. I can stay calm longer. That might not be what you're looking for in an answer, but I'm able to kind of regulate myself. And if I get angry with my parents or my parents get angry with me, I'm able to stay calm for the most part and kind of self-regulate and take a step back and say, okay, I'm feeling heated right now. Let's do a body scan, which for people watching, it's where you kind of start at your toes and, how wiggle, and then tense and move your way all the way up your body. Just, yeah.
Love it.
Yes.
So sounds like you're getting your life back. Is that
Yes.
pretty fair to say?
Yeah. And my other goal is to drive. And I think I am, with how I'm doing now and the improvements that I'm making, I think that I can see that in the future definitely being an option for me. Not at the moment, but with time, absolutely. I see that becoming an opportunity. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yes. That's that perspective, isn't it? Once you thought there's no way, that's not even for me. It's impossible to, maybe we can think about it. Maybe, right? To now, okay, we don't know exactly when, but we're getting into that. We're going in that direction. And then that is a huge, huge thing. And this is where I am so proud of you guys for defining the progress, right? Based on your life, daily functioning, getting your life back. That's really all it is about. And I'm also curious to hear from you, Amy. How do you see yourself and your family, where you are since the program started?
Oh gosh, it's a full 180. Before her symptoms started, neither of us were working out. We were barely sleeping. Ella was carrying way more of any of this than she should ever have had to. Jayme stopped getting invited places. She wasn't going to school. And now we're back. James and I are both on our own workout programs, so we don't feel guilty. We've actually been told through the program that we need to take care of ourselves. So having a professional tell us, take that time for yourselves, it was huge for the two of us. So we're working out. We take our time away from each other and the kids because we know that Jayme will be okay. I think Ella's got a lot more freedom now than she did, a year ago. Absolutely. Jayme is back in school full time, thank goodness, because that was not great for our relationship. Her coming to work with me when she wasn't at school. FND aside, she's still a 16-year-old girl with lots of opinions. But we worked, we made it through that. We survived. So having all of that, I think we all feel a little bit more free right now, which is it's a lovely feeling. And we're each getting more independence back all the time, which is great.
Which before FND, we all take that for granted. We think
Absolutely.
That's normal, right? And we don't even think about it. And I don't even know what normal is these days, but getting your life back is really a possibility. And I see the transformation. And then Jayme, you coming out, of like a personality showing and right? Being free spirit individual. And that is the best reward I can ever get working with anybody in my program. So I'm super proud of you, all of you.
Thank you.
Because it's hard work.
Yes.
Hard work.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And so even though this program may look like it's too good to be true, it's not like there's a quick magic pill, right? That anyone can take that gets better overnight. I wish there was. I don't have any, but the transformation is quite magical. What would you say to other families who are watching this video and thinking about the program the way you were a few months ago? What would you say to those people?
I think the community helps a lot. I've made friends through it, and it's just nice knowing I'm not the only one. I think the community aspect of this program is just phenomenal. And I know my parents also agree the same with the parents, and the way you will have everybody share wins It's a very positive program. It's not talking down like, oh, because you have FND, your life's different. Your life's different, but that also means you can have more wins. Like it's just a very positive outlook of a bad situation. And that's, sorry, my thoughts are kind of scrambled right now, but I would say to the families, do it, because the community is great. The way the program is structured, I love the go at your own pace modules. I think everybody there is friendly, which goes along with the community thing, but definitely worth every penny, I'd say.
Obviously, I'm biased, but I agree. Amy and James, from parents' perspective, what would you say to other parents?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is having the structure and the knowledge that's provided. It really helps because you're in a tough situation, seeing your kid fall on the floor, pass out, have seizures. It's really stressful. And yeah, I think Amy and I are both the type of people that just need to have the information, need to not be, it's less scary when you have an idea what's going on.
I agree with James and Jayme as well. If someone asked us, would you recommend this program? We would all say yes. The community is wonderful. Go at your own pace. We have access to you all day, Monday to Friday, and you always respond to messages. You're an excellent cheerleader, but we love how positive it is. I don't know where we would be right now without it. And I don't want to get too emotional, but I'm very proud of Jayme and how much work she is putting into it. And it's lovely because we don't have to nag her about doing the work because she has meetings with you. She does the teen calls. And that's your job now, is to figure out how much work they're putting into it. And if we have questions, we can read the weekly wins for the teens because you post those for everyone. And so we can see, did Jayme speak? Did she not speak? Is there, you don't give a lot of information, which is great. That's their time with you. But we get very excited when we see her name, that she did talk, because that tells us that she is working hard. And it's nice to see that, because I go back to the nagging thing. We don't say, did you do your modules? What module are you on? Where are you at with your lessons? She's doing that with you, and she's doing those on her own time. And that's pretty special. Yeah, I would say do the program.
I would also say do the program.
We keep it real. Don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I really think that it's really because of the hard work that you have been doing. And so that's why I'm so proud of you every time. It's really hard for any family to be always consistent, right? So we just can't be like this. Nobody. And there's always this up and down when it comes to recovery from FND specifically. And I just think about, Jayme, your future. And this is why I do what I do. And when I say, I mean it, because you, adolescent individual, you deserve so much more in your life. And so when your parents agree that this is not just about you now, this is about your future and their commitment, I see that in you guys through and through. And so I'm definitely agreeing that yes, things are so much better in so many different ways. And that is because you believe in the same thing, that is to get your life back and health and wellness. And this is all for your future. And that is priceless in my mind. Anything is possible. Super proud of you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Amy, James, and Jayme, thank you so much for trusting me with your story and for being willing to share it with other families who are right where you were before you joined the program. Now, if you're a parent watching this and you recognize your family in what they described, the paralysis, the functional seizures, missing out, the missed school, the isolation, the feeling that nothing is working, I want you to know that what Jayme's family experience is actually not rare inside Teen FND Academy. It is what happens when teens and parents commit to the Brain Toolkit framework together as a team. Recovery is not about eliminating every symptom. However, it is about getting your life back. And this is exactly what this family is doing. I'm so proud of them. So if this resonated with you, subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And I post the content every single week specifically for teens with FND and their parents just like you, the science, the tools, and the real stories. Thank you so much for watching.